Hello everyone, thanks for joining me today on StubbleMeetsSteel. So today is the last video that I was going to do of one of the Lambda razors. This is the Lambda Athena, the closed comb, and I thought it'd be fun to compare it to the Alpha Evolution Outlaw. This is the 2023 version, and this one has, I think, 300% more clamping than the original version. And I found that they shave somewhat similarly, and I think it's because of the amount of blade clamping that they have. But the Lambda Athena has 0.43 millimeter blade gap versus 0.70 blade gap. So even though they're both neutral blade exposure, it begs the question, being that the Alpha is 0.70 versus 0.43, is the Alpha that much more efficient? Does it equate to just a lot more blade feel? So what's the difference between the two shaving? Can the Lambda hold its own, being that it has the 0.43 gap in efficiency? Is one going to be more blade feel than the other? So I thought it'd be a good comparison. From what I remembered that the Alpha is felt and shaved, as far as the way that the blade engages the face and the overall shaving sensation, reminded me a lot of this. So I wanted to kind of do a head-to-head shave of these two. For the blades today are the same blades that I've been using almost exclusively in the Lambda razors. Are these Astor Bic blades. I seem to like them better than the Bic chromes that come in the orange package, the more common ones. For a soap today, I'm so proud of myself. I finally finished up a sample. This is the Macduffs Prarie Rum Runner. I'll put the scent notes up, but it's basically a bay laurel, a couple of other West Indian bay rum, and some, I think, tobacco, allspice, ginger, and it's got a really great smell. Overall, it smells like a bay rum to me, but there's definitely some other notes there that I really do enjoy. This was one of the first Macduff soaps that I had tried, and I really fell in love with the base off of this sample, so I'm using it up. I got a couple other samples of the Macduffs, and I didn't want to use a soap that sometimes some scents give me a fragrance burn on my neck, so I didn't want to use a soap that'll maybe irritate me and give me any issues mid-shave. Although I'm familiar with the base, I wanted to make sure that I didn't get any sort of irritation, so I figured, yeah, you know what, let me go with the soap that I know. But yeah, I really enjoyed the slickness and the cushion that I got from this Macduffs. Last time I think I used the Autumn Cabin, which is a fantastic smell as well. So yeah, anyways, back to the razors. I wanted to kind of see, you know, back like I've been kind of talking about in several videos now, you know, there's so many different things that come into play, and sometimes these numbers are a little misleading. You know, you would think that with these particular razors, since they both have neutral blade exposure and there's quite a bit of a gap difference, on paper you would think that the one with the more gap is going to be way more efficient, or at least have way more blade feel or something along those lines. So let's take a look and see how they both shave. The Athena you can only get with the one handle, whereas the Alpha, he offers it in an 85 millimeter and the 95 millimeter. He offers 3 different handles. You can get 2 different ones in the 85 millimeter. That's what this has. So that's kind of cool that you can get a couple different options there. He does offer it in other metal options. So while this particular one is the 316L stainless steel, price point on it is about 140. So a big price spread between these two razors. Whereas the Athena, I think if I did my math right, is more like 225 US dollars. So a little bit of a price spread there, but I can't remember what the price is offhand. I know that he does offer the Alpha Evo Outlaw in titanium and some other options, and I would speculate, if I remember right, that they were much more on par price-wise to the Athena. So take that in mind when I'm doing this review, that although the stainless steel one price-wise is much less, he does offer some fancy metal options to kind of put this more on par with like the titanium Yates America that I did the other day review against the Athena. So he does offer it in some fancy options and stuff, which would also bring the price points kind of more in check with each other. Let's have some fun. Let's add some water. Uh-oh, forgot my shave towel. I'll be right back. All right, got my towel. Don't mind my sweet farmer's tan. All right, just touch this up a little bit. All right. I'm gonna start off with the Athena. Both of these blades are the same in both razors. This is on shave, I think, 2.5, since I do half of my face with each one sometimes. The slickness of this and the cushion of this soap is next level for me. Fantastic. Beautiful pass with the Athena. Very nice pairing with the blades. Those blades have worked great in everything I've tried them in so far. Very nice first pass. Something that I just saw there that I wanted to bring to everybody's attention is the lather channels on the Alpha are pretty substantial. It goes all the way through and through. As I mentioned in my other videos, which I'll link, the Athena kind of has a very proprietary, unique design. It has no lather channel. They did that purposely to keep the lather and for the water from pouring down onto the handle and making it slippery. So when you rinse it, it basically shoots out the sides. It's got this sweet kind of aqueduct setup. But if you're using a real thick soap, some of them can be a little tricky to rinse out, I noticed. I would wonder if you had several days of hair growth, how easy or lack of the Athena would be. I thought I would mention that. Whereas in comparison, the Alpha is super easy with that monster lather channel. It's just one quick pass underneath the water and you're good to go. This is a great smelling soap. Like Like I said, it's like a bay rum with a twist to it, but really, really nice. If you like the bay laurel or West Indies bay rum scents, you'd really like this one. Reminds me a lot of the classic bay rum from PAA. This does have allspice in it, but it doesn't have that clovey note that some people dislike. I actually like that cloviness, but I know some people don't, so I thought I'd mention that. Add some water to this. Seems like I'm about out of water in my spray bottle. All right. It's not forcing around the lather. Let's get going. Against the grain on the neck. There's a nice pass. Sometimes right there on my neck, both the Athena and the other Aries Lambda razor, I don't want to say irritated me or cause any irritation or anything like that. I just got to be careful right there. It kind of tugs a tiny bit, but that pass was nice. My memory did serve me right. They do feel very, very similar as far as how the blade feels on the face, the amount of blade feel that both razors have. Very, very, very similar shaving. And this Macduffs soap and those blades pairing in the razors for both razors have been a fantastic shave so far. Very, very slick, very good cushion. Both blades performing very well in both razors. Very nice. This is probably the best shave I've had with this Alpha, to be honest with everybody. On that particular, that's my across the grain there on my neck and on my face, the upper part of my neck and my face. And I would say on that particular pass, it felt like the Athena had a tiny bit more blade feel. They both do like if you ride the top cap, and I was doing that on both razors. And I found that there was just a little bit more blade feel on the Athena side on that particular across the grain pass. All right, let's finish up with our against the grain pass here. Just letting all this go to waste. Might as well use it. All right. Rinse my hands. And I'll check the price of the Alpha Evo Outlaw and the titanium option, so that way I can kind of post that up for you gentlemen, and that way you're a little more aware of what the price difference would be if you wanted to get the Alpha in a fancy metal. Put the price point more on par with the Athena or the Lambda razors. All right, let's see where we're at. I'd say those are dead nuts even. There's the tiniest bit on both sides in the same spot right here. and everything else is BBS pretty much everywhere else. All right, let me get rinsed up. Forgot to mention the weight of both of these razors are very comparable, at least the 85 millimeter handle that I've got on the Alpha anyways. They were, it's 118 grams for the Athena and 113 grams for the Alpha in the 85 mil handle again. So very comparable, about 5 grams difference between the two, so splitting frog hairs there. So I must say, like I've been saying with these head-to-head shaves, this was an eye-opening shave for me because being 100% transparent as I always try to be, the Alpha Evo Outlaw for me, the first few times that I had shaved with it, again, I don't know if it's just this blade or was it the blade and the soap that was just a match made in heaven today, but I hadn't really enjoyed the shaves that I had gotten with this Alpha until today. This was definitely the hands down the best shave I've had with this razor. I found it very, very smooth, a little more forgiving than I remember. I honestly attribute that both to the blade and the extra cushion and slickness that Macduffs soap has. You know, grip-wise, the Alpha handle with the traditional knurling is superior. You know, this is very, very fancy and beautiful to look at. It has the inlay diamond grip, the siping, and the big knob on the bottom to kind of rest on your pinky like such. So, you know, different style handles, but I would say just pure tactile, you know, grip that you can't beat, you know, that's definitely got it in that particular regard. It's nice that you can get not only two handles in 85 millimeter length, but also a 95 millimeter. This is all 316L stainless. It is all highly polished on the outside. On the inside and the bottom of the cap, on the part that you can't see, it's basically just traditional CNC machining. There is more polish and fit and finish on this. You know, as I've shown in the other videos, the presentation is quite a bit different. You know, you get a fancy, beautiful mahogany felt line box with this, whereas this is very similar to the Yates. It's a black cardboard box with you know, foam cutouts that go around the razor. So very, very simple. Not much to look at there as far as presentation. It's all about the razor. But you know, that brings up a valid point, just like with guns and stuff like that. You know, they're giving you this fantastic, beautiful case, but are you basically paying for it? Whereas with this, the cost is cheaper because you're not paying for that fancy case. That's a valid point and a valid argument. Some people could care less what case it comes in. They're not going to display it on the counter. They're not going to show it to anybody. So that's a valid point there as well. You know, overall, back to the more important part, the shave. They're very, very similar in shave experience. Efficiency-wise, no, I didn't feel that the 0.70 gap cleaned house. But on the flip side, very, very impressive. The 0.43 gap of the Athena definitely held its own. It was pretty much 3-pass BBS with very, very mild cleanup there. If I was to omit the with the grain pass, I would have been good to go. And I could have done just a two pass shave there. So, you know, overall, what are my thoughts? You know, you really can't go wrong. It's like I said in the other video, it depends on what you like. Do you want something that's more a little bit high-end, a little more elegant and elite, a low production number, a razor that's not everybody is going to have? These are also low production. This is on back order, or was the last time that I was checking pricing on it. So, you know, these are also hard to get. But I would say that the Lambda razors are definitely a little bit even more harder to get than the Alphas. So, you know, it depends on what you're looking for shave-wise. I would say that the Athena had the tiniest scotch more blade feel to me. But by riding the top cap, you know, they're very, very comparable in how they feel and how they shave. If I was, you know, honestly, if I was blindfolded, other than the handle giving it away, you know, if you could put the handle on both of these, being honest, I don't know that I would have been able to tell them apart. Very, very hard to differentiate between the two. Both fantastic razors. So if you're not looking for a fancy metal, if you're not looking for this in titanium or something like that, boy, the price point on this, you know, is hard to not pay attention to, because there's a big price difference between the two. Like I mentioned, I think this shipped in your hand with tax is probably about 140, 150, where this is 225 plus shipping and tax and everything. So pretty big difference between the two. It'd be more even if this was the titanium version, but unfortunately I don't have it. So beautiful razors. Awesome shave. I really kind of look forward to doing some more shaves with this Alpha now that I had such a great shave with it. I really like those blades, and I don't think you could go wrong with either. And again, it was an eye-opening experience. I remembered that this had a lot more blade feel than it did today. So again, was that the blade or the soap? Probably a combination of both. If I had to choose which one I liked, I would have to say I'd go with the Lambda Athena, just because I've had a lot more good quality shaves with it consistently, whereas today this was the first time when I actually really enjoyed the shave was today. So that's my 2 cents, gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed the videos on the Lambdas. This is the last one that I'm going to do. As I mentioned in the last video, it's going off to Matt at the Razor Emporium. It's going to Tobin Fetter's channel. I forgot Matthew Lawrence last time, so I apologize about that, Matthew. The Lather Hog is getting it. Long Island Shaving is getting it. So a bunch of different guys are going to be checking this razor out. I really look forward to seeing what everybody does with these razors, what everybody thinks of them, what they compare them to, and what everybody's 2 cents is overall with these particular razors. I'm curious if other people like the Athena that do the review more so than the Aries like Ken did, or if more people kind of find that they like the Aries better than the Athena. So, you know, different strokes for different folks, and it's interesting to see what different razors people like. So hope everybody liked all the reviews on these Lambda razors. Thanks for watching, and checking down in the comments below. I have some discount codes. I'm going to have all the other channels that are going to be reviewing these. The Heiko Shaves already did a review, and Ken Surfs already did a review. So I'll put those videos down below if you want to check those out, as well as all the other channels. And I look forward to seeing everybody soon. I'm going to be reviewing the Rex Console versus the Yaqi Ultima Slope next, so stay tuned for that. Talk to you soon.